Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Trainer Talk. Today, we're going to be talking about where to begin. So, you're ready to start your health and fitness journey, but you have no idea what to do or where to begin. So, we want to try to help you guys just gain a little bit of insight on where we think you should start, the best ways to start so that it's sustainable, that way you can progress and be able to stay with it and not get overwhelmed. A lot of times when people start out, they think they got to work out 5 or 6 days a week, they got to follow this crazy diet plan, and they do all that stuff, and then a couple weeks in, they're overwhelmed and they're kind of sick and tired of it, and then they fall back to their original habits. So we want to try to get people to start out at the right pace that's good for them. So depending on what level you're starting at, there's going to be different areas that you should start. But if you're, let's just go with a true beginner, you've never done any kind of training or had a gym membership or anything like that, I would say you would want to just start by moving your body more. So as simple as going for a walk a couple days a week, whether it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whenever you can find time to start moving your body. And that's what you should do for like 2 to 4 weeks, kind of get into that routine of, okay, I'm going to schedule this time for myself to get a little bit of exercise or movement in, and then we'll progress from there. After you've been able to commit to that for a couple weeks, then you can enter the gym. And when you come into the gym, if you're not sure what to do with all the machines, you don't know if you should do classes or what you want to do, we would suggest doing a gym demonstration where we actually show you how to use all the equipment, or sign up for personal training. That way, one of us as coaches could actually design a workout program that's going to be meeting your needs and your level. We'll teach you how to do all the exercises with correct form. That way you know exactly what you're doing and you're not overdoing it, but you're still able to get some good results. That would be kind of the starting point. I'll let these guys chime in on anything that they might want to throw in with that starting point, maybe on what they did when they started or what they do with their clients right now. So whoever wants to start.
Yeah, like something that I like to start people off with is just getting really good at moving their body well. Doing things that are one-sided, so like doing step up, step downs, lunges, doing like push-ups on the rings or like TRX, because it puts a little bit of stability in there. So you want to train all those muscles. Like if you are just doing like the machines, like you don't train all those little stability muscles. So to prevent injury, it's better to get really good at moving your body, maybe add in some like lighter dumbbells or kettlebells or like resistance bands. That's what I like to start people off with, especially people that, if you've been sedentary for a while or like don't have the best diet, you have a lot of inflammation, and usually have some sort of joint pain, whether it's back, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, whatever. And it's just good to like get your body moving, but you shouldn't be feeling like you're dying every workout, or that like it's just gonna wreck you. Like it should help you feel good and like you've accomplished something. So that's what I do for like starting people out with personal training.
So you'll see a lot of people lifting with heavy barbells and doing these crazy circuits and stuff like that, which is great. Obviously they're excellent tools for training, but you just gotta understand that those people are more advanced, they've been training a lot longer, and understand that you'll get to that point. But like she said, it's all about learning the movements and starting with just moving your body, being able to start with that foundational pieces, with the body weight and the lighter weights, avoiding the barbell at first, and then progressing from
there. Yeah, so I have 3 kind of like tips, I guess, when getting started. That I'll go over quickly. So the first one is to don't be afraid to ask for help. I have so many clients who will come in and say, I'm so embarrassed that I am asking you for help, and I'm so embarrassed about my weight, or the lack of confidence that they have. And you do not have to be embarrassed or feel any of those things when you ask us for help. Like, this is our job. This is what fuels our soul. We love helping people. We love seeing you go from having no confidence to having all the confidence in the world. So never, ever, ever be afraid to ask for help. The second one is to remember that you're doing this for you. I've had people tell me, my family doesn't support me, like they don't work out with me, so they feel that lack of support. That's very common. It's common to have people look at you like you're crazy. Why are you doing this? Why are you spending money on this? Why are you getting a trainer? Why do you have to go to the gym, 3 days a week, 5 days a week? You have to just get those voices out of your head. You have to ignore them because it's going to happen one way or another. And you have to remember that this is for you. This is so you can become a better spouse, a better friend, a better mom, whatever it is. You just have to ignore them, and then eventually they're probably going to be asking you for help and asking you what you've done to lose the weight or what you've done to gain all this confidence. So you just have to get past that point of ignoring those people. And again, they probably will come asking you for help. The third one is to start with a really small habit and work your way up. It can be as silly as making your bed every single day, and that may sound ridiculous, but that was one thing that I did when I was starting out. And what it does is it puts you in a habit, and it also teaches you discipline. Like, no, I have to make my bed every single morning before I leave the house. And then eventually you can say, okay, now I'm going to have the habit of drinking so much water throughout the day. Okay, I've accomplished that. Let's make the habit of going for a walk 3 days a week. Let's make the habit of stretching every day. And then you can build up to those bigger habits of, okay, let me get in 2 workouts a week, 3 workouts a week, 4 workouts a week, and 5. So it seems so silly to just say, oh, let's make your bed every day, but it does teach you discipline. It teaches you how to, create a habit and then work up to creating bigger habits to help your health and fitness journey.
Yeah, you guys all made great points. I would say, going back to kind of what Bethany was talking about, starting off a client, I loved what she said about how it's mostly lighter weights, body weight, TRX, things like that. I think that's a great place to start clients. It's usually where I start them, is just working on squats, making sure squat form is good, making sure bench press form or push-ups are good, or something like that. Just really small things, making sure the form's there, that that foundation that we talk about is there, and then kind of progress them into more complex movements later on. As far as nutrition goes, how I start most clients off is just talking about what they do now, what they think they could improve on, whether it be 1 meal a day, eating a really healthy meal. I always suggest breakfast, trying to wake up and make a good meal and have a good meal, because that kind of sets the tone for your day. That's one small thing that you can do. Kind of talking about myself starting, because I know that's part of what we were doing today. It's when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing in any aspect, in working out, in eating, any of it. I just kind of went in blind. I had some knowledge from football lifting, but it was barely anything, and so I just kind of went to the gym. I did what I knew how to do and did it well, and just kept going back and doing the same things over and over and over until I got really good at them, and then tried to learn new things. And then nutrition, my nutrition is still a work in progress, always will be, I feel like. It started off I would get home from the gym and have a protein shake that was the Nesquik high protein, it's made for kids, or I don't even know what the actual name of it's called, but I would mix that with my Fairlife milk, and I'm hell yeah, getting that protein in, getting gains, and then I started to see the little hits of progress where I looked a little bit better in certain areas, and that kept fueling me. And now I'm at where I'm at. I'm a personal trainer. I know way more than I ever have. So that could be you, just getting that foundation started, just 1 to 2 days a week, getting in here, committing to an hour or even half an hour or something like that, just to get in here and get that habit started. And then I also wrote down here, I'm follow fitness professionals and fitness people and positive sounding people on social media, because that can play a big part. Kind of what we've talked about before, surrounding yourself with positive people and positive energy. It all kind of reverberates around you and makes you a better person. So I believe full-heartedly that's and your friends, who you surround yourself with, is really, really important. So if you have a big group of friends and they all just like to party and do that type of thing, like maybe you should rethink who you're hanging out with if you want to become like a more fit, healthy individual. Like surround yourself with those kind of people.
Yeah, I love that you said that. Like the community, you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most. So if you can start to change that, if you start going to the gym, we try to make everybody feel like family. So a lot of people develop friends and they start to adopt other lifestyle habits, and they talk and share things that they're doing. But you're gonna have people like Caitlin mentioned that will kind of criticize you and just be like, oh, why are you doing that? Or almost like I've experienced in my life, like almost making fun of you. Like my brother used to kind of make fun of me and how much I worked out, and they'd make fun of the meal I was eating. Oh, you're gonna eat your vegetable, like things like that. And in reality, most of the time, it's actually a way of kind of coping with their own flaws. They actually are almost a little bit jealous of what you're doing, and they actually want those same things, but instead of asking you for the advice or joining you, they just criticize you. So understand that that is the type of challenges, or like the type of the way that people think. But eventually, like she said, they will be asking you for help after you've achieved some success, and they see how much better you feel and look. They're going to change their perspective and be like, oh, instead of giving her a hard time, maybe they'll actually figure out maybe it's time for me to actually try this myself. So just hang in there and kind of avoid that voice, like she said, and like focus on what you want to achieve and do what's best for you. It's an investment in yourself, and it's not for anybody else. So just to add on to that, now that you guys have started exercising, you've learned the foundations, where do you go from there? You can start to increase the volume. So maybe you were doing 2 or 3 days a week, or you maybe were doing one training session with a trainer, something like that to get started. Now you can increase the volume. So maybe you want to do 4 or 5 workouts a week, a couple of classes, maybe a couple different personal training sessions, and starting to add more in. A lot of times what we'll do is we really try to get people to do 3 resistance training workouts a week, and then fill in the other days with some kind of active recovery or like cardio, like going for a walk or a run or a bike ride, just something to move their body, maybe do some yoga or stretching at home. And then they're getting kind of 4 or 5 solid days of exercise and movement in. And then from there, after you've done that consistently, a lot of people will progress to the point where they're basically doing 4 to 6 workouts a week, kind of like what we're at. I try to work out 6 days a week minimum, and I don't do it just because I want to like get in an amazing shape or trying to get as big as I can or whatever. I do it because I personally love the way I feel after a workout. I don't feel right unless I get my workout in. So there are days where it's just a really mild workout day, like considered an active recovery day, just to move my body and keep myself feeling good and kind of set the tone for the day. It's kind of like, it's no different than making your bed in the morning, like she said earlier. Like it becomes a habit, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, the days that you don't do it, you're like, I don't even know what to do with myself when I don't get my workout in. But we just wanted to stress to you guys that you're not going to just jump right to that point. It does take time. That's why we're making this video, just to kind of go through the levels of where you should start. So just to kind of break it back down, I would suggest start by moving your body. Next, if you're ready to start with the gym, hire a personal trainer or do a gym demonstration session or skills session where we actually show you the movements, the foundational movements, that we know at least what you're doing and how to perform them, how to use the equipment in the gym. If not, do 1 to 3 sessions a week minimum with a trainer until you get to the point where you're getting in better shape and developing those skills. Then you can jump into a large group class, start doing the large group training where you're doing maybe 3 to 4 circuit classes a week, and then you can fill in the blanks. Maybe you could do a couple workouts on your own, or do those running or walking days on the days that you're not coming to the gym. So that's just an example of the progression that we'd like to see people go through until they get to that 4 to 6 days a week mark. As far as the nutrition goes, Austin kind of already mentioned how he started out just slowly progressing with his nutrition. Didn't know anything at first, I was the same way. I counted the protein and everything. I knew that I needed to get a lot of protein, so I was counting the protein in pizza rolls, I was counting the protein in cereal, all kinds of silly stuff when I was in high school, when I was starting out, because I didn't know any better, but you gotta start somewhere. So I would recommend, obviously, just getting the information either from online or from a nutrition coach. We do nutrition coaching, but there is a lot of great information out there. If I was to tell somebody off the street, if they walk in and say, hey, what should I start with? I want to improve my eating. I would say to start simple, like try to eat 2 to 3 servings of vegetables every day. So add that into your regimen. Just try to eat 2 to 3 servings of veggies every day for a week. And once you can do that, then we'll add in something else. So for example, maybe we'll add in some water. Try to drink half your body weight in ounces of water. And after you're able to do that, then we'll shoot for, say, a protein goal. Let's try to get 2 to 3 portions of high quality protein. So not a burger from McDonald's, maybe like more of like grill some chicken breast or make some lean, beef or steak or turkey, whatever it is, some source of good quality proteins for each of your meals. Once you do that, then you keep adding new habits in, and then you'll notice that the bad stuff will automatically wean out. If you were used to going to McDonald's, every single day for lunch, and you say, oh, I've got to add in a high quality source of protein, I can't go to McDonald's, that'll naturally take itself out and you'll be able to start making healthier decisions. Especially for like pop drinkers, for example, it's really hard to just quit cold turkey drinking pop. You're literally addicted to that sugar. So without it, you're gonna have headaches and you're just not gonna feel right and you're gonna crave it. So instead of getting rid of it, we would suggest instead of just try to add in at least 2 bottles of water every day. Try to drink a bottle of water before you drink your pop, or another bottle of water in the middle of the day. And naturally, you can't just keep adding bottles of water and drink the same amount of pop. You're gonna have to try to reduce somewhere. So if you're increasing your water intake, you're naturally gonna decrease your pop intake until all of a sudden you don't even need it at all. So that's just kind of how I would suggest starting with your nutrition. Start with one little habit like that, and then slowly work your way up until you have developed the habits where you can figure out how many grams of protein and carbs and fats and things like that you need, and you can avoid the highly processed foods and the foods with high preservatives and high sugar content. So anything you guys want to add to the nutrition part of it, go ahead.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is just being aware of what you're actually doing. So that's where tracking does come in. I mean, some people don't like to track, but at least do it for a period of time and actually measure your food instead of saying that you had one banana. It's okay, well, there's a bunch of different sizes of bananas. How much of the banana are you actually having? Because it can actually make a big difference of how many carbs you're eating or whatever, or you think you're eating 3 ounces of protein, but it's really 1.5. So that's a big difference. They're thinking oh, I'm eating so much protein, and it's okay, are you? Are you actually measuring it out and tracking it? Because a lot of people are not eating enough. I mean, probably 80% of the people that come here, maybe more, are not eating enough, and they're working out a ton. So becoming aware of what you're currently eating, and I mean, some people, yeah, maybe they're overeating and they don't realize it. They might think that they're doing all right, but then once they get adding everything up with the drinks, they have a pop, and then they add sugar and creamer to their coffee, and then the handfuls of M&Ms here, and then I'll just have a couple bites of pizza turns into a whole slice, and just little things here or there that people don't catch on and they don't really think about. But starting to become conscious of what you're actually doing is a big thing for that next level of you're adding in the vegetables and stuff. If you're more of a numbers driven person like myself, it helps to do that, just to become aware of oh wow, I'm not eating enough, so I need to eat more, and just knowing that.
Yeah, one of the most common things I hear is, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, I'm eating really healthy. And I'll ask them, okay, well, what does a typical day look like for you? And here's their version of eating really healthy. Oh, I had a protein shake when I woke up, I had a salad for lunch, and then I had chicken and broccoli for dinner. I said, okay, you've eaten 450 calories today. Your body's in starvation mode. You might be eating healthy, but you're eating like 20% of the caloric intake that you need to fuel your body. And typically those type of people came from a diet where they were eating fast food and high sugar foods. They might have been eating 2,000 or 3,000 calories and didn't even realize it, because the nutritional value of that food is so low. You can eat 1,000 calories and you're still hungry. Your brain is just telling you, we need more, we need more. And, you know, that's why you can sit down and eat a whole entire carton of ice cream or a whole entire bag of Pringles or whatever, chips or whatever, because there's no nutritional value. You're just empty calories. You're just feeding yourself. So when you go from 3,000 calories to 500, your body's like, whoa, what's going on here? It's going to slow down your metabolism and you're not going to lose the weight you want. So even though you're eating healthy, you need to make sure you're eating enough of the healthy foods. That's why we as coaches try to get our clients to fuel the body with healthy nutrition, which means putting fuel in your body. You can't run your car on E for all the time. You've got to fill up the tank, or else you're not going to have any gas. You're not going to be able to go anywhere. Same thing with your body. You got to fill up your tank with food, good nutrition, and that's what's going to give you the energy that you need and speed up that metabolism and get you the results that you want. So just figured I'd add that in because I do hear that a lot. People eating healthy, but they're not eating enough. Salads aren't the answer all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think nutrition is the hardest part for like everybody. Everybody that I talk to, it seems like, they can get in here and get a workout in, but they like, oh, I struggle with my nutrition, and that's normal, but like, what are you doing to get help with it? Like, a lot of the people who are struggling with it aren't, doing nutrition coaching or aren't doing their own research on food and nutrition in their body. And the thing too is like everyone's body is so different, especially between male and female. And this is something that Bethany and I have kind of been talking about lately. And it's really interesting, just like, how when your hormones change, you need more fats or whatever it is. And, those are things that we're still learning too. But if you're not trying to learn and you're not trying to get help, then you're not going to make any progress. And nutrition is just one of those things that I think we're still learning every single day, and you need to ask for help. It's not something that you're just going to get probably without any help. It's a really tricky thing because it's so different for everybody.
Don't ask your friend that lost 50 pounds on some 6-week challenge, because most of the time when I see that happen, they just did some kind of nutritional shake for 3 meals, every single meal, and they were in a huge caloric deficit and starved themselves for 6 weeks and they lost the weight. But then what happens when they can't drink shakes the rest of their life and they go back to eating normal, and then they put all that weight back on? So don't just turn to the people that you know unless they actually have some knowledge or some kind of degree in nutrition or something, certifications, actually know what they're talking about. Find, like she said, find the good resource for learning more about nutrition, which is why we all got nutrition certified, so that we can, we're constantly learning and experimenting. I don't suggest anything until I've actually tried it. Something that I kind of try to make sure that I do. So I'm always trying new things, and I never recommend anything unless I've actually tried it or had somebody get really good results or experience with it. Awesome.
Yeah, just to kind of finish out, I would say this goes for anybody, not just people that are starting out, but especially if you're just starting out, just aim for consistency.
Yeah.
That's all that as personal trainers I know that we ask for from clients is don't go way overboard on the weekends with your nutrition and drink a ton of alcohol and eat a bunch of BS. Try to be somewhat consistent each day, with hitting a certain amount of calories and protein and things like that. Work on that. Work on trying to get to the gym, even if it's 2 days a week. That's what I say to everybody. If you can get here 2 days a week and resistance train, you're doing better than probably 90% of people, if not more. Just shoot for that. That's my biggest advice.
You just reminded me of something that was really, really cool. So we've got a client that's been training here for a really long time. Her name's Donna, and she's absolutely an amazing person. And she's somebody that really embraces I can't do this yet, but I'm going to do what I can. She just full of energy, always super energetic. And we were doing an exercise the other day called a man maker, and you had to see how many you could do in 30 seconds. Most people were doing 3 to 5 reps. she said, I was only shooting for one. And I said, it's one more than the person that's sitting on the couch. And she said, I love that. And she posted about it. Anything that you do is more than the person that's doing nothing. So like Austin said, consistency, as long as you're just doing something on a daily basis to get a little bit better, and you'll hear us say this, the 1% better every day is something that I love saying now. I try to just think about every day, what could I do to get 1% better? Get my workout in, drink my water, eat my vegetables. Just one little thing to get a little bit better. Read one page out of a book. You're doing something every day to get a little bit better. It doesn't have to be perfect. Another thing that I really tell a lot of people, and I stress on it hard, is you don't have to go from 0 to 100. You don't have to be working out 5-6 days a week and following this nutrition plan, or not at all. You can adjust your dial. I like to think of it like a dial from 1 to 10. Around here where we live in the winter months, we're really busy in here. There's people packed in all of our classes, and then summer comes around and everybody quits. Not everybody, but a lot of people quit. And it's because, well, I'm going outside, it's summertime, it's nice out, there's things to do on the weekend, and they just turn their dial from 10 to 0. Whereas I try to get them, okay, if you were at 8, 9, 10 during the winter, getting all these results, putting in all this hard work, eating good, working out 5 days a week, don't just stop for the summer just because it's nice out and you're doing other things. Just adjust your dial. Try to do 2 workouts a week to maintain your results. Still try to eat good during the week and then enjoy yourself on the weekend, but don't go overboard. So adjust your dial down to a 3 or 4 or 5. You don't have to just quit plain and Jane. And there's going to be times in your life where you're busier than others. There's going to be things that happen, but just make sure that you never quit is the most important thing. Stay consistent. Try to do a little bit, as much as you can, I guess, in a given week. If you can't make it to all 5 workouts or 4 workouts, try to make it to 2 or 3. If you can't eat 3 servings of vegetables, protein, carbs, and fats every single day, try to eat 1 or 2 at least. Do what you can with what you have, and put in that effort to just get 1% better every day. And I think that you'll notice a tremendous amount of results, and you'll notice that you'll get better and better and better over time, because that's going to compound. Every day that you put in a little bit of effort, it's going to compound, it's going to become easier, and you're going to get better every day. And that's what we're here to do too. We're here every Friday, consistently for 28 weeks, trying to become better coaches and trying to give you guys information for free, just to try to help you guys learn more. And because we want to share our services to hopefully help more people too. So if you need help with anything like your workout program, if you don't know where to start, we're here to coach you guys. If you need help with your nutrition, we're nutrition coaches. We can help you get started with your nutrition and teach you everything that you need to know. That way you can achieve your results and maintain them forever. So I think that wraps it up for today. If you have any questions, like we said, just stop in, reach out, get a hold of us. But if you're somebody that's just starting out, start with these steps. Go for a walk, come in and get a training session, a gym demonstration. You can try out a class for free for the first time. If you want to try a class out, whatever we need to do or whatever you need to do to get started, we're here to help you guys. So stay healthy, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.